President Rooney, Provost Callahan, Dean Cheng, Dean Wyden, officers of the university, guests of honor, members of the faculty and administration, candidates for graduation, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 152nd annual commencement of Loyola University Chicago and the 6th combined ceremony for the School of Communication and the School of Continuing and Professional Studies. As we begin, let us pause for a moment to draw our attention to the university's land acknowledgement statement, both on screen and on the inside front cover of your program, honoring the heritage of the grounds upon which we walk. Now, will everyone who is able please stand as the Loyola Wind Ensemble plays the national anthem? And we ask that you remain standing until the invocation has been given. It is now my privilege to present Lauren Schwer, Associate Director in the Division of Mission Integration, who will give the invocation.
Family, friends, loved ones, and honored graduates, welcome to graduation. St. Ignatius wrote, "All the things in this world are gifts of God, presented to us so that we can know God more easily and make a return to love more readily." I invite you to take a moment of quiet here, amid the excitement, to recall a gift or two you have received during your Loyola journey, particularly a gift that helped you develop as a loving person. I invite you to take another moment to remember the many people, your family, your friends, your loved ones, your educators, those who made this education possible. Bring them to mind now for a moment. With these gifts received, we pray. Loving God, we give you thanks for our graduates and their gifts. Be with us in our celebration of their achievements, that each graduate might know more deeply your love and their own unique contributions they were created to make in your project of love and justice. Amen.
Have a seat. I am now honored to introduce Dr. Joanne Rooney, President, Loyola University of Chicago, who will offer a few words of welcome. Dr. Rooney.
Good evening, everyone. Okay. On behalf of the students, faculty, staff, and trustees of Loyola University Chicago and our worldwide network of alumni, family, and friends, welcome to the graduation ceremony for the School of Communication and the School of Continuing and Professional Studies, all part of the 2022 annual commencement of Loyola University Chicago. This year, we celebrate more than 5,000 graduates across 11 ceremonies in one joy-filled week. Being able to celebrate together this year adds an extra level of excitement to an already momentous occasion. Following many months of constant adjustment, isolating solitude, remote learning, and virtual ceremonies, we have learned not to take some of the most basic things for granted, such as joining together as community, or exchanging face-to-face greetings, or sharing that special hug. I extend heartfelt congratulations to all of our graduates and the warmest of wishes to all of the families, friends, and loved ones here with us today. Despite the uncertainties and constant challenges you encounter during this global pandemic, you have adapted and you have persevered. With resolve and resilience, you continue to connect, to learn, and to care for each other. You navigated constant changes while supporting one another and worked hard as you completed your degrees. This is the real definition of being Jesuit educated. Of course, there were countless difficult moments and even some periods filled with doubt. But we have all been inspired by your resilience, creativity, and determination as you navigated so much change and uncertainty. And through it all, we have a renewed appreciation that we are all in this together, and none of us can accomplish great things alone. Let us take this moment to appreciate each other, students, families, faculty, and staff, for the many ways you lifted one another up, persevered, and leaned into a greater goal and a greater good. Let's applaud, join in a round of applause for each other. At this Jesuit Catholic university, we understand that there is no learning without love, no success without kindness, no scholarship without accompaniment. There is no justice without mercy, no reason without faith, and no healing without hope. Our coming together today is a collective act of hope and love. We come from many backgrounds and celebrate as one achievements across many fields. We connect not only to mark this milestone, but also to affirm as a community our commitment to the values of Jesuit education: civil discourse, deeper understanding, greater justice achieved through education, research, and service to others, and seeking and seeing God in all things. To this class of 2022, as you transition from student to graduate, it is important to recognize that it is your calling, your responsibility to apply these values across a world that is in need of hope, commitment to action, and leaders like you. But for right now, at this moment, let us focus on the present. It is time to celebrate and commence.
And it is now my pleasure to present Dr. Hong Cheng, Dean of the School of Communication. Dr. Cheng.
Thank you, Professor Pons. I first would like to acknowledge the outstanding Loyola Wind Ensemble for providing the music we are hearing today. President Rooney, Provost Callahan, Vice President Champagne, Dean Wyden, officers of the university, guests of honor, faculty and staff colleagues, candidates for graduation, ladies and gentlemen, welcome everyone to the May 2022 commencement for Loyola's School of Communication and the School of Continuing and Professional Studies. Class of 2022, if obtaining a university degree is an intellectual journey, you have successfully reached the destination. If COVID-19 pandemic is a surge on your journey, you have conquered it. Defeating all challenges, you are all here today, a day we all have been waiting for. Sincere and hearty congratulations to you all, our proud 2022 graduates. Starting today, the three powerful words, Loyola, University, Chicago, will be gleaming alongside for you for the rest of your life, on your resume, on your diploma, in your resume, and most important of all, I think, in your heart. You have earned, yes, earned your degree from a remarkable Jesuit Catholic university in this great nation. Class of 2022, you are a special cohort graduating at an exceptional time in history. You are the choosing class for such a time. You are also a class united with the entire nation and the whole world. Everyone striving to graduate alongside you during this memorable time. Everyone, please join me in congratulating all of our graduates for all of their hard work and perseverance. Thank you. Graduates, many of the people who helped you along the way are here today. Faculty colleagues, please rise, accept our appreciation. Thank you. Also, out there on the floor are the staff of the two schools. Without them, none of us could be here today. Staff colleagues, please wave your hands, and so we can see you and accept our appreciation. Thank you. We also want to recognize many others who have made the graduation of the class of 2022 possible. Grandparents, parents, siblings, other relatives, and friends of our proud graduates, please rise and accept our gratitude. Thank you. I also want to thank the individuals at special events and in the Provost's office for all their help making today possible. I want to thank all the marshals, volunteers, and the photographers who are helping with today's ceremony. Thank you. Class of 2022, you are now embarking on an exciting new journey onto the path of self-fulfillment and accomplishment. You all have bright futures without ceilings. Keep dreaming, keep learning, keep soaring high. We wish you every success and happiness in your career and in your life. Thank you for being part of our SOC and SCPS families at Loyola University, Chicago. Please stay in touch. If there is anything we could do for you in your professional endeavors, we are here for you, as always. St. Ignatius wrote, "One rare and exceptional deed is worth far more than 1,000 commonplace ones." It is time now for each of you, our proud graduates, to go out and accomplish your own exceptional deed and to set the world on fire. Again, hearty congratulations, class of 2022. Go Ramblers! Go class of 2022!
And it is now my honor to present Dr. Jean Wyden, Interim Dean of the School of Continuing and Professional Studies. Dr. Wyden.
Thank you. President Rooney, Provost Callahan, Dean Cheng, officers of the university, guests of honor, members of the faculty and administration, esteemed attendees, greetings. To the graduates of the School of Continuing and Professional Studies. During your time as students, you've been encouraged by our faculty, supported by our staff, and inspired by the Jesuit mission to live according to the deepest desires of your heart, and in so doing, to care for and serve others. You've gained the skills and knowledge you need to advance your careers, and the moral compass and understanding to become ethical leaders and compassionate members of your communities. I know you're aware of and appreciate how much you've received over these past few years. But what you may not know is how much you've given to all of us. You've inspired us by your courage in taking the risk of returning to school later in life, and by your bravery in overcoming your doubts and fears. You've taught us that it's never too late to set out on a new path, and that circumstances, no matter how tough and demanding, can be overcome. You've surprised us by the wisdom, experience, and openness you bring to the classroom, and therefore how much you get out of it. You've encouraged us by the way you value your education and by being active partners in it. You've motivated us to go above and beyond, just as we've asked you to do. You've gratified us by your commitment to our community and by your support of others within it. You've shown us how much people can grow when they work hard and truly want to learn and better themselves, and that transformation is possible at any stage in life, especially when one approaches it with a sense of gratitude and perseverance. You've honored us by allowing us to participate in your transformation, from the nervous prospective students you once were to the confident graduates who sit before me, excited for their next steps and ready to shine. We are truly thankful and immensely proud of you. Thank you.
And with pleasure, I now present Zoe Krupp Exowicz, candidate for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Communication Studies, who will offer some remarks on behalf of the entire student community of the School of Communication. Zoe.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, Dr. Rooney, Provost Callahan, Deans Chang and Weidman, and to the parents, family, guests, faculty, and staff, and so many more that we have here today. Thank you so much for being here and for being such a huge part of the Loyola community. I also want to start off with a big congrats to other graduates from the School of Communication and School of Continuing and Professional Studies. Even throughout a global pandemic, you all have continued to thrive and leave your mark on Loyola's history, which deserves congrats in itself. My name is Krupp Exowicz, and when reflecting on my 4 years at Loyola, my time here is defined with one word: transformative. What I appreciate the most about Loyola is how much we are all given the opportunity to learn more about ourselves and our impact on the world. Throughout my time involved with the Student Diversity and Multicultural Affairs Department, as well as my time on the Loyola Orientation team, I've learned how important identity truly is to not only my education, but who I am as a person and how I live my life. I've learned that there's not just one way to be successful. And most importantly, thanks to a lot of my mentors at Loyola, I've learned to trust myself and become confident in who I am, no matter what opinions of me may be. The Loyola community has given me so much, so I want to say thank you. Thank you for making this a place that empowers students to trust themselves, regardless of identity or background. And due to a lot of my connections with all of you, today I'm so happy to stand here in front of you all as a proud and out transgender woman. You guys are so sweet, thank you. All of us who are here and are looking forward to walking across the stage and graduating in just a little bit hold a privilege. We hold a privilege in the fact that we have the opportunity to pursue higher education at all. Recognizing that privilege and the sacrifices that a lot of our families or support systems have made for us to be where we are today and to thrive reminds me of why I'm here. In early April of 2020, at the beginning of the pandemic, my oldest brother, Eric, got into a serious car accident where he suffered from an intense and lasting brain injury. Unfortunately, he could not be here today, but he is on the journey to recovery. And ever since that day, a little more than 2 years ago now, I have seen my lovely mother. Hi, Mom. I have seen her advocate for him constantly. A lot of times, I have seen her put his needs above her own. In terms of recovery, he would not be anywhere close to where he is today without her. Throughout my life, but especially within the past 2 years, I have seen how hard she works to not only support me, but both my brothers, her husband, her coworkers, our dogs, and so many more. And along with the admiration, respect, and love that I hold for her, I am honestly just constantly inspired by her and the person that she is, and can only hope to have that much impact in my life. So regardless of who makes up your support system, I encourage all of you to take some time today to recognize the people around you that are rooting for you, and just say thank you. The class of 2022 has gotten very used to adapting to change, whether it be the change of transitioning to college life, to taking a year of college virtually, to then coming back on campus and having it be a lot of our last years here, and scrambling to figure out your futures. You could say we're very familiar with the topic of change. Throughout the unpredictability of the pandemic, I've seen my fellow classmates and leaders at Loyola remain resilient and do amazing things. A few that stand out to me are the important social movements represented on campus. I have seen students raise awareness and demand justice for the large number of students who have experienced sexual assault during their time at Loyola. I have seen students advocate for Black lives and demand institutional change even when looked down upon by administration. In a Jesuit education, we are taught to question and push against authority to strive for change. And I've seen nothing but that, and I'm so happy about it. And overall, I have seen and experienced empowerment, and I cannot be more grateful to you all for creating this space. To the Loyola community, again, I am extremely grateful for how you have changed my life and so many others. To the class of 2022, I cannot wait to see the amazing things that we accomplish, and it is an honor speaking with you all today. So Ramblers, go forth and continue to set the world on fire. Thanks so much.
And it is now my pleasure to present Angela Patrice Broadway, candidate for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Management, who will offer some remarks on behalf of all the students in the School of Continuing and Professional Studies. Angela.
Good afternoon. My name is Angela Broadway, and I'm very grateful to speak with you today. This is a privilege that I will never forget. First, I would like to thank Loyola University for creating a program focused on professionals. They provided solutions for all of my barriers regarding pursuing higher education, the real ones and the ones in my head. I would also like to thank our friends and family here today who nurtured us during our educational journey. We are grateful for your dedication, and we know we couldn't have made it without your support. You believed in us and allowed us to prioritize school, and we can't thank you enough for that. It's moments like this when I try to think about my childhood. And I say try because I don't really have the words to describe it, because it covered a wide spectrum of experiences. I was raised by a single mother who had my brother at 14 and me at 19. My father wasn't present because at the time I didn't know who he was. Some of my childhood activities could be described as questionable. My family went from having wealth to being extremely poor. And when I say poor, I mean not knowing where our next meal was coming from. And this was all between the ages of 9 and 16. And because things changed so often, I could never relax as a kid. I was that notorious hamster running in the wheel, with the only consistency being school. And I was good at it because learning was never difficult for me. But then life got complicated, and I too became a teen mother. Dreams and college deferred. I supported my household the best way I could, but I knew deep down if I wanted to be successful, I needed a plan. But sometimes poverty, coupled with teen motherhood, can be an overwhelming tag team on a young woman's dreams and plans. But hold on, this isn't a speech about poverty or bad decisions. Instead, it's about two very significant things we get in life: chances and choices. And it's up to us to determine how we take advantage when both are presented to us. So let me tell you how I got here today. One day, I was chatting with a friend of mine, and I mentioned my hidden desire to go back to school and get my degree. Fast forward a couple of weeks later, and I received an informational postcard from Loyola. And for a moment, I thought karma was really doing its thing, like this must be a sign, can't be a coincidence. As it turns out, I have a very crafty friend who requested information from Loyola, but she used my name and home address as the point of contact. Eventually, I figured it out, and I confronted her, and she admitted it, but she had zero remorse or shame. However, the kicker to this story is that I only realized her underhanded scheme after I made the decision to enroll in school. And this is the point that I want to drive home. I was provided a chance, and I decided to make a choice. I read somewhere that every day we must do something that challenges us, and I believe in this wholeheartedly. But I also know it's not easy to step outside of our comfort zones, because comfort is safe, and that gives us a reason to stay out of the game. After all, we can't lose if we don't play, right? Comfort allows us to avoid disappointment, and by doing so, it holds us back and whispers in our ear, the risk is too great, too painful, let's just sit this one out. And we end up avoiding all our potential greatness. Listen, success won't fall in our laps. We must chase it and hunt it down with conviction. Success means being open to the process of growth and unlearning mediocre habits that won't push the envelope of our capabilities. Chances and choices are what sets some people apart from others. It gives us an edge and teaches resiliency. And speaking of resiliency, yes, I had very little when I first started school, but my biggest obstacle was me, and I was making excuses for why I didn't need to go back to school. And that's because I didn't have an appreciation for how much I would benefit personally, socially, and professionally from this experience. I thought it was just to check off a box. But this is how it works. People might tell you it's too late, and there's no real purpose in chasing your dreams, not at this age. But don't ever let the noise of others' opinions drown out your inner strength and dreams. Everyone here today is proof that amazing things can happen if we embrace all the incredible chances and make all the uncomfortable choices. We can be the creative architects of our own lives, or we can be passive victims of circumstance. You all probably have a friend or two like the one I mentioned earlier. We should keep them around because they might see something so amazing in us that we can't see in ourselves. Remember, we get two things in life: chances and choices. Our inaction breeds doubt and fear. Our action breeds confidence and courage. And it takes a lot of courage to complete a degree later in life while juggling all the demands that we face at this stage in the game. We hear all the time this familiar idea of being bold and facing adversity head on. And some may interpret that to mean being unafraid or fearless, but I disagree. I was absolutely afraid of going back to school, and I was afraid of standing up here today to give this speech. But my point is, we don't have to be fearless. We just have to learn to push through, even if we are afraid. So my fellow graduates, as we embark on this next chapter in our lives, let us continue to build upon our great achievements. Congratulations, everyone.
I would now like to invite the Dean of the School of Communication, Hong Cheng, to the podium to introduce our commencement speaker. Dean.
Today, we have a distinguished commencement keynote speaker. Jean Hodges is an eminent leader and a seasoned professional in the journalism industry. She is passionate about news as a vehicle for sharing accurate information and storytelling's power to unite people around common values. As the current Senior Director of News, Culture, and Communication at Gannett, Ms. Hodges brings those values to the forefront of her work each day. Her position at this largest publisher in the nation is focused on everything from content development to onboarding new talent to employee retention. When coronavirus altered the newsroom operation forever, Ms. Hodges focused on leading initiatives that meet the challenges of the virtual newsroom with training geared to virtual leadership and coping with burnout. Prior to Gatehouse Media and the Gannett merger in 2019, Ms. Hodges was Senior Director of Content for the News and Interactive Division of Gatehouse. In this role, she developed content strategy for more than 300 community newsrooms across the country and helped with the launch of Gatehouse News Service as the national editor. Ms. Hodges' extensive experience in in-depth journalism and leading newsrooms makes her the ideal mentor for young journalists. Her commitment to mentoring the new cadre of leaders with Report for America, a national service program that places emerging journalists into local newsrooms ensures that journalists across the country continue to build trust in communities they cover. I'm proud to announce here today that the School of Communication will host a Report for America program this summer. We expect to have more than 300 people from all over the country on Loyola campus for this program next month. Ms. Hodges' work extends to her partnership with historically Black colleges and universities and Hispanic-serving institutions of higher education to offer paid internships to those who have traditionally been underserved. Before moving into the corporate world of news, Ms. Hodges spent more than 20 years as a reporter and editor, leading groundbreaking projects in Illinois, New Mexico, Texas, and England. Ms. Hodges holds a BA in English and Philosophy from Loyola University, Chicago. She said her studies directly informed her passion for using communication to right wrongs and to give the voice to the voiceless. She was also a Knight Digital Media Fellow at the University of California, Berkeley. I know we are all excited, inspired by our commencement speaker's outstanding achievements and cannot wait for her speech. It's my enormous pleasure and great privilege to invite Senior Director of News, Culture, and Communication at Gannett and Loyola's 1984 alumna, Ms. Jean Hodges, to deliver the commencement speech for us. At the same time, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge Mr. Scott Hodges, Jean's husband, sitting over there, taking photographs for her and for all of us. Welcome, Scott. Thank you for being here.
Sorry, I'm really short. Okay. Now I'm really tall. It's really weird. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Rooney, Dr. Callahan, and Deans Cheng and Wyden for inviting me here today. It's such an honor to be here at Loyola, my alma mater, addressing you. I'm not sure how much wisdom I can impart to you, since you all have proven you're up to just about any challenge, having earned a degree during a pandemic when so many people were getting burnt out and finding it difficult to do basically anything. Congratulations on this accomplishment. Give yourselves so much. Chances are you were burned out at some point too, or you had whiplash from being in class or learning remotely, or wait, in class again. You've all learned how flexible you can be in the face of life's vicissitudes, and here you are, sitting in this room, awaiting your next step across a stage and into the next part of your life. Congratulations. The difference between yesterday and today is this degree you're receiving. What does it mean to have earned a degree? Maybe it means grad school, or a cool job earning good money and the ability to buy some stuff. Or maybe you're more like I was on my graduation day. Many years ago, you heard the year, we don't need to belabor that. When I sat out there where you sit, I had a bit of a problem. For the first time in my life, I had no idea what I was going to do. That's right, up to that point, I thought I knew what I wanted to do with my life, although the ideas changed as the years progressed. When I was really little, I wanted to be a saint. Seriously. My favorite saint was Joan of Arc. Turns out, sainthood isn't really a profession, and it doesn't always turn out well for the saints, at least not in this life. Other ideas I had as I was growing up were a librarian, a writer, and a jockey. I'd read a lot about horses, so racing them seemed a good thing to do. Plus, I'm short. Anyway. Then, in 8th grade, I settled on being a lawyer. My parents were so relieved. At 17, I entered Loyola, majoring in criminal justice and psychology. But by the end of my freshman year, I had taken my first philosophy class, and I was hooked. I thought, what more noble pursuit than the one that asks life's biggest questions? What are we doing here? What's the point of this life? And what is a good life? As an aside, I don't think I would have ended up with a Bachelor of Arts, double majoring in philosophy and English, if I hadn't gone to Loyola. My liberal arts degree required me to take 3 philosophy classes, and not every school had that requirement. And even though the day of my graduation found me deeply uncertain about how my future would unfold, I didn't regret my choices. So I got some jobs that weren't great, got married, that was great, thanks Scott. Moved to California for a year. Then my husband and I moved to a small town in New Mexico for his work. I didn't know where to start to look for jobs, but I discovered the employment office in town listed job openings. They had 2 I thought I might be qualified for. Donut delivery person, starting at 4 a.m., and 4 a.m. only works for me if it's a continuation of the night before. I don't know if you hear that. And police dispatcher. I had to take a typing test for the dispatcher job, and I thought I tanked it. So I sat down in great desperation with an employee of the employment office, Bobby Dixon, who asked me what I could do. I had sold advertising previously for the Sacramento Bee newspaper, and Bobby told me I had no chance of doing that for the local paper because the sales reps were there for life. But she gave me the name of the editor and told me to head over there right away and tell him Bobby sent me. The top editor wasn't there, but the number 2 editor gave me a writing test and seemed surprised I could write. She said they had no openings, but she'd pass the test along. The editor called me a few days later and asked if I could come in to meet him. After we'd talked for a while, the editor excused himself and came back a few minutes later and asked when I could start. I said, I thought you didn't have any openings, and he said, we do now. I later learned that he had gone into the newsroom and fired someone. and that he fired people on the regular. I learned that day that it's possible to feel happy and guilty at the same time. Welcome to being Catholic. I did have a little preparation for this new job. I was on my high school newspaper, and I won an award at the Loyola Phoenix. Yay! But I never considered journalism as a possible career. I thought I'd be a lawyer, or a philosopher, or a saint. Turns out I loved the energy of journalism. I loved uncovering information people didn't want uncovered, holding the powerful to account. I loved doing work that had value for the places where I worked and the people who lived there. And I've directly incorporated some of my philosophy knowledge, namely the ethics classes, into my journalism work. In fact, journalism is an unflinching career. We can't look away from the ugliness, the divisions in our country that have become so pronounced. So many people have had news fatigue, but looking away isn't an option in my profession, nor is it an option for people other than those of power and privilege. And whether you read every news story, it's tough as we go about our lives not to notice people being treated with hate and discrimination. I remember one of my Loyola professors saying of people who are angry or hateful, have you ever had a toothache? Have you ever experienced intense pain? Those angry, hateful people are in pain. And the implication was that we should be understanding and forgiving. Maybe that's the path to sainthood, but so is fighting for social justice and working for diversity. As my career has progressed, I've moved away from reporting and editing. As the Senior Director of News Culture and Communication at the biggest news organization in the country, I've had the opportunity to work on diversity and inclusion efforts, to create workplaces where people feel they belong. We have so much work to do to diversify our newsrooms. And part of my work now is in recruiting, to hand the powerful voice of journalism to those who haven't had that opportunity. My passion is to create healthy workplaces, to change systems, and to build strong cultures that support our mission and our people. Your work will no doubt give you opportunities to take the values you've learned here into the world. But perhaps you're still hoping to hear answers to the questions that led me to philosophy when I was in college. What are we doing here? What's the point of this life? And what is a good life? I'm glad I started with the fact that I'm not sure how much wisdom I can impart to you all, because otherwise this is the point where you might be disappointed. But I can look at my own experience and make a few observations. 1, you might have your life pretty well mapped out. I thought I did when I entered college. I get a BA and JD, get married, have a couple kids, which I did, by the way, and they're awesome, and reform the criminal justice system, which was such a worthy goal. That sounded like a good life. It didn't quite work out that way, but that's okay too. Life is full of uncertainty, and the uncertainty may feel uncomfortable, but if you stop trying to control it all, the flow of life can be a beautiful thing. 2, sometimes you get to a small town in the middle of nowhere. You can translate that to any dead end. But if you advocate for yourself and stay open to the possibilities, you might take a step towards something beyond the end of the road, something that adds value to the world in a way you never saw coming. 3, you don't have to reform the criminal justice system. You can translate that to any big dream. To make a difference, you can smile at a stranger. You can choose to be kind, especially to someone who doesn't look like you. You can let the pain of life harden you, or you can let it soften you. You can let it open you to compassion, to understanding the pain of another. Finally, remember to thank people along the way. Gratitude is powerful. And it's my turn now to thank you. Thank you for being an inspiration to me and to others who will come after you. We've seen your example, the achievement that you celebrate today. As you move forward, may you find compassion when you need it most. May you offer kindness when others need it most. And most of all, may you discover your version of what you're doing here, what the point of this life is, and how to make it a good one. Congratulations, and thank you again. Go 2022! Woo!
Thank you, Ms. Hodges, for your thoughtful and inspiring words. The candidates for master's degrees will now be presented. Dean Chang of the School of Communication will make the recommendations to President Rooney, who in turn will confer the degrees. I would invite Dr. Rooney and Dean Chang back to the podium.
Will the candidates for master's degree from the School of Communication please rise? President Rooney, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degrees Master of Communication in Digital Media and Storytelling, and the Master of Science and in Global Strategic Communication. The candidates have fulfilled all the requirements for their degrees, and I recommend that the degrees be conferred upon them.
Candidates, upon the recommendation of the Dean of the School of Communication and its faculty, and by the authority granted to Loyola University Chicago by the state of Illinois, and delegated to me by the Board of Trustees of this university, I confer upon you the master's degrees for which you have been recommended. As a sign of your new academic status, please don your hoods. And congratulations, graduates.
The candidates for all master's degrees will now come forward by degree group as directed by marshals to be recognized by name. Jessica Brown, Senior Professional in Residence in the School of Communication, will read the names of the graduates. One of our long-standing traditions is to have each of our graduates shake the hands of the president and dean as they walk across the stage, accepting their diploma. This year, however, out of an abundance of caution and respect for our graduates and their guests at each of our ceremonies throughout the week, we ask that you forego the customary handshake and instead exchange verbal greetings. Thank you for understanding. And family and friends, please remain in your seats and hold your applause until the end of each degree group. Guests are not permitted to approach the stage to take photographs, however, and we thank you for your cooperation.
Master of Communication, Digital Media and Storytelling, Razan Mohammed Al-Naz. Radiance Cooper. Zakari Helen Joy Kaleka. Jacqueline Davis. Jessica N. Douglas. Claire Elise Feitmeyer. Laura Godoy Figueira. Kanika Guy. Marie Rose Hefner. Alexis Jade Hodo. LaShawn Mahone. Asia Tamara Singleton. Cody Swinney. Tiana Sakurako Thompson. Julianne Young. Congratulations, graduates. Now receiving the degree, Masters of Science, Global Strategic Communication, Natalie Marie Angarita. Olivia Nicole Beck. Jacob Harry Bodinian. Angel Jade Skylar Bell. Sam Bower. Claire Breeze Oswald. Jared Capuson. Daniel Colaza. Talia Brooks Devlin. Kim DeVries. Jordan Lynn Johnson. Lisa Kurdayev. Sarah Lang. Andrea Lopez. Ellen Eileen Mullen. Catherine Ann Murphy. Mercedes O'Neill. Caroline Grace Shaw. Zachary Carr Soper. Blair Tweeter. Alexandra Vysotsky.
The candidates for bachelor's degrees in the School of Communication will now be presented. Dean Cheng will make the recommendations to President Rooney, who in turn will confer the bachelor's degree. I'd like to invite Dr. Rooney and Dean Cheng back to the podium.
Where the candidates for the bachelor's degrees from the School of Communication, please rise. President Rooney, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts. The candidates have fulfilled all the requirements for their degrees, and I recommend that the degree be confirmed upon them.
Candidates, upon the recommendation of the Dean of the School of Communication and its faculty, and by the authority granted to Loyola University Chicago by the state of Illinois and delegated to me by the Board of Trustees of this university, I confer upon you the bachelor's degrees for which you have been recommended. As a sign of your new academic status, please move your tassels from the right side to the left side, and congratulations, graduates.
The candidates for all bachelor's degrees from the School of Communication will now come forward, as directed by marshals, to be recognized by name. Jessica Brown, Senior Professional in Residence, and Dr. Lee Hood, Associate Professor, will read the names of the graduates. Candidates who have not yet been taken out of their rows may be seated again. And family and friends, remain in your seats, and again, hold your applause until each degree group has been recognized. Thank you.
Bachelor of Arts, Advertising Creative, Julia L. Abbott, magna cum laude. Will G. Garrettson, magna cum laude. Genevieve Patrice Kyle. Maggie Palutter, magna cum laude. Cassiana Grace Posey, cum laude. Olivia Tripoli. Bachelor of Arts, Advertising and Public Relations, Julia Erin Abraham. Geraldine Ordith Allen. Yasmin Sue Zara Amur. Julissa Barajas, magna cum laude. Udanya Barbier, magna cum laude. Julia Elizabeth Barnes. Nicolette Noel Barron, cum laude. Madeline Rose Bartouche. Chloe S. Bellet, cum laude. Sophia Blanchard, magna cum laude. Natalie R. Bonter, cum laude. William Walter Breen, magna cum laude. Tyler Robert Bremner. Anastasia Catherine Brett, magna cum laude. Stephanie A. Backus. Olivia Annette Calderon, magna cum laude. Eleanor Carignan, summa cum laude. Ethan Chu, cum laude. Emma Cobb, cum laude. Catherine Grace Cohen, cum laude. Gianna Christine Delasio, magna cum laude. Stephanie Del Porto, magna cum laude. Felia Deates, cum laude. Christopher James Durzak. Carolyn Marie Dickey. Miriam Doman, magna cum laude. Kiana Marie Ide. Jackson Elstro. Eden Grace Erickson, cum laude. Caroline Grace Franklin. Megan Jade Ferber, cum laude. Catherine Denise Galeno-Oria. Charlotte Gascon. Dominique Gunem, cum laude. Anika Marie Gunter. Jordan Amanda Gray, cum laude. Arushi Gupta, magna cum laude. Ariana Gutierrez, cum laude. Julia Habrovich. Amber Elizabeth Handel. Claire Elizabeth Harrison, cum laude. David Joseph Hart, magna cum laude. Elise Christina Hines, cum laude. Justin Brianna Hernandez. Matthew Walter Holds, cum laude. Deirdre Hogan. Natalie Philomena Howard, summa cum laude. Mia Rose Hubanks, cum laude. Patrick Hines. Marco Antonio Ibarra Soto. Wesley Scott Keenard. Ava Rose LaRue, magna cum laude. Sarah Belarte. Demetria Ann Lamperis. Ellie Marie Lisoskovich. Mia Avery Lopresti, cum laude. Anna Claire Colette Lonsway, cum laude. Chin Lu, cum laude. Kiana Marie Lynch, summa cum laude. Allison Nicole Lyons, cum laude. Lauren C. Manini, cum laude. Anne Elizabeth Marsh. Haley Ann Martin, cum laude. Michaela Lynn Martin, cum laude. Brianna Madonio. Nia Montgomery, cum laude. Stella L. Moore, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Ann Moran. Zachariah Morshett. Catherine Murphy, cum laude. Lilith Ann Nercion, summa cum laude. Claire Ann O'Malley, magna cum laude. Isabella Paredes, cum laude. Julia Park. Sarah Patterson. Matthew Henry Payne. Andy Pirhana, cum laude. Adriana Ramirez. Angela Michaela Jacinto Salonga, cum laude. Alexandra Lee Samas. Sabrina Sanfrantello. Bridget Marie Schulte, magna cum laude. Sophia Marie Schumacher. Luke Michael Shinman, cum laude. Jesus Socorro. Alexandra Lawson Slaughter, cum laude. Olivia Rose Steinfeld, cum laude. Joshua Tarafa, summa cum laude. Toriana Christine Toraro. Sean Valentin. Martina Nicole Valerades, cum laude. Allison Ann Vasilakis, magna cum laude. Vanessa R. Vega. Jordan Walker. Jillian Rachel Ward, cum laude, interdisciplinary honors. Brooke Ellen Weber, cum laude. Carson Jeffrey White. Sydney Akuru Raba. Louisa Caroline von Steinau Steineruck, cum laude. Congratulations, graduates.
All right, so now Bachelor of Arts in Advocacy and Social Change. Marina Barbera, magna cum laude, interdisciplinary honors. Sophia Duque. Adele Gettig, magna cum laude, interdisciplinary honors. Melissa Rose Moynihan. Lillian Risser, interdisciplinary honors, cum laude. Anne Sorensen, magna cum laude. Congratulations, graduates. Next, we have graduates who are earning the Bachelor of Arts degree in Communication Studies. Hugo Osvaldo Acosta Martinez. Nicholas Bagetto, cum laude. Carson Paul Barrett. Natalie Rose Birdsall, summa cum laude. Mary Dolan, cum laude. Jorge Escobar, magna cum laude. Julia Fink. Owen Fink, magna cum laude, interdisciplinary honors. Aaron Flaviano. Alexandra Madison Foley, summa cum laude. Callie Foyle, summa cum laude, interdisciplinary honors. Meredith Lee Frothingham. Stephen Gutierrez. Nolan Holly. Gabriella Hoxie. Abby Hun, magna cum laude. Anna Jewett, cum laude. Simone Khalil. Zoe Krupich, let me try that again. Krupichowicz. Anna Layden. Mary Ledspick. Le Ming Ha, Millie. Maya Ellen Poppernick, summa cum laude. Joseph Salamoni. Alexander Siliazar. Grace Lewinsky. Chelsea Soto. Yuri Stapleton. Isabel Tejada, cum laude. Amanda Teplitz, summa cum laude. Alexandra Varela. Alexandria Varela, magna cum laude. Congratulations, graduates. Next, Bachelor of Arts in Film and Digital Media, Sean Anderson, cum laude, interdisciplinary honors. Joaquin Benavidez, cum laude. Ronnie Bonilla, Jr. Gwendolyn Brown, magna cum laude. Lily Buchan, cum laude, interdisciplinary honors. Carla Bueno. George Chiligaris. Kobe Davis. John Decker III, summa cum laude. Catherine Dickens, summa cum laude, interdisciplinary honors. Grace Fahey, magna cum laude. Lauren Firth, magna cum laude. Kylie Gahn, magna cum laude. Kelly Grabowski, summa cum laude. Samuel Halfpenny. Austin Harris. Laura Lene Karras, magna cum laude. Rachel Lombardo, cum laude. Matthew Marsh. Kayla Matthews, magna cum laude. Stephen Ryan Nolasco. Eric Pacella. Grayson Smith, magna cum laude, interdisciplinary honors. Gillian Streeter, cum laude. Jessica Theron, summa cum laude. Daniel Zamora. Congratulations, graduates. And now those receiving degrees in multimedia journalism. Katie J. Anthony. Aisha Baranda. Connor Bergen, magna cum laude. Emily Burdett, magna cum laude. Jennifer Kelly Carpenter. Isabella Dean. Adeline Polly Dreyer, magna cum laude. Emily Driehaus, magna cum laude, interdisciplinary honors. Mary Catherine Gallagher, magna cum laude. Blake Garcia, summa cum laude. Janae Gonzalez, cum laude. Amelia Ickes, magna cum laude. Chloe Elizabeth Johnson, summa cum laude. Alec Karam, magna cum laude. Maya Loom, cum laude. Amanda Maurer, summa cum laude. Zach Miller, magna cum laude. Eric Moran, magna cum laude. Enrique Ortega. Mary Planky. Kaylee Paydar. Marissa Rainoni, cum laude. Pablo Rosero, cum laude, interdisciplinary honors. Caroline Ryan, cum laude. Madonna Salto, magna cum laude. Coco M. Sharp. Paulina Torres, cum laude. Paige Twenter, magna cum laude, interdisciplinary honors. And Lean Yashin, cum laude, interdisciplinary honors. Congratulations, graduates.
The candidates for bachelor's degrees in the School of Continuing and Professional Studies will now be presented. Dean Wyden will make the recommendations to President Rooney, who in turn will confer the degrees. I would like to invite Dr. Rooney and Dean Wyden to the podium.
All right. Will the candidates for the bachelor's degrees from the School of Continuing and Professional Studies please rise? President Rooney, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts. The candidates have fulfilled all the requirements for their degrees, and I recommend that the degrees be conferred upon them.
Candidates, upon the recommendation of the Dean of the School of Continuing and Professional Studies and its faculty, and by the authority granted to Loyola University Chicago by the state of Illinois, and delegated to me by the Board of Trustees of this university, I confer upon you the bachelor's degrees for which you have been recommended. As a sign of your new academic status, please move your tassels from the right side to the left side, and congratulations, graduates.
The candidates for all bachelor's degrees from the School of Continuing and Professional Studies will now come forward as directed by marshals to be recognized by name. Jennifer Gettings, Assistant Dean in the School of Continuing and Professional Studies, will read the names of the graduates. And family and friends, please remain in your seats and hold your applause until all degree groups have been recognized, and we thank you for your cooperation.
Receiving the degree Bachelor of Arts in Applied Psychology, Carla Larissa Clavian. Amal Elamadi. Stephanie Camille Filiao Esser. Chastity Cressida Griffin. Jennifer Marie Isdale. Marisol Moreno. Lupe M. Rodriguez. Receiving the degree Bachelor of Arts in Applied Studies, Maria Isabel Johnson, summa cum laude. Amelia Margaret Mistel. Delilah M. Serrano. Receiving the degree Bachelor of Arts in Information Technology, Evelyn Contreras. Receiving the degree Bachelor of Arts in Management, Angela Patrice Broadway, cum laude. Sharon Letitia Collins, magna cum laude. Melissa Gonzalez. Alonzo Green. Florence Green. Heath Patrick Harwood. Lauren Ashley Hickey. Sarah Stephanie Jurwich. Scott Frank Kaiser. Elizabeth M. Lang, magna cum laude. Amy Lisa Meyer, summa cum laude. Shira Mafrapanova. Joanna Miller. Matthew David Miller. Horacio Palau. Harris Seder, cum laude. Catherine Underwood, cum laude. Lindsay Villanueva, summa cum laude. LaShawn Corinne Walls. Receiving the degree Bachelor of Arts in Paralegal Studies, Jobel Jean B. Angab. Tara Marie Kirkless. Emily Renee Nuggets. Jason Santiago. Rosemary Swanson. Receiving the degree Bachelor of Arts in Strategic Digital Communication, Jack Allen Hanafi. Zara Meneses.
Receiving the Corporate Practice Certificate in Paralegal Studies, Jacqueline Jasinski. Receiving the Litigation and Corporate Practice Certificate in Paralegal Studies, Allison Therese Calhoun Anderson. Madison Louise Berry. Mira Lorelei Radu. Receiving the Litigation Practice Certificate in Paralegal Studies, Ashley Bloom Bivens. Heba Abdullah Hamida. Beverlyn Andrea Hernandez Fiola. Amy Louise Sorensen. Peyton Soline Watkins. Congratulations, graduates.
The candidates for post-baccalaureate certificates in the School of Continuing and Professional Studies will now be presented. Dean Wyden will make the recommendations to President Rooney, who in turn will confer the post-baccalaureate certificates. I would like to invite Dr. Rooney and Dean Wyden back to the podium.
Well, congratulations to our paralegal studies students who were just named, but formally now, will the candidates for the bachelor's degrees from the School of Continuing and Professional Studies please rise? You can rise again, be acknowledged. Oh, wait, we need to go to the post-baccalaureate degrees. President Rooney, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the post-baccalaureate degree in paralegal studies. The candidates have fulfilled all the requirements for their certificates, and I confer them upon them.
All right, candidates. Let's do the four. How about just the candidates for the post-baccalaureate degrees? I think that's, there we go. We got it. Go ahead. Upon the recommendation of the Dean of the School of Continuing Professional Studies and its faculty, and by the authority granted to Loyola University by the state of Illinois and delegated to me by the Board of Trustees of this university, I confer upon you the post-baccalaureate degrees certificates for which you have been recommended. Now officially, congratulations.
And the candidates for all post-baccalaureate certificates will now come forward to be recognized by name. Marie Harrigan, Director of the Institute for Paralegal Studies, will read the names of the candidates. And family and friends, once again, please remain in your seats and hold your applause until all graduates have been recognized. Thank you.
We've already done that.
We've already done that? Guess what? We've already done that. All right. Following the closing blessing, is this where we are now? Is that correct? I think we are. The president says yes, and when the president says yes, I agree. Following the closing blessing, please join the graduates for a reception on the West Quad. We ask that you remain in your seats until all the graduates have exited the auditorium. At this time, it is my honor to invite Dr. Joanne Rooney, president of Loyola University Chicago, to the podium to offer a few remarks and give a final blessing. Dr. Rooney.
Thank you. Members of the class of 2022, it has been a very, very long road, probably feeling as though you have been on the craziest roller coaster ride of your lives, and you weren't certain when you would emerge into the light. Yet, you did it. You have graduated. So will everyone join me one more time in giving these graduates a round of applause? Each of us, at various times throughout our lives, both sit upon the shoulders and follow in the footsteps of others who came before us. Just over 500 years ago, St. Ignatius of Loyola and a small group of colleagues made a pledge to each other. They vowed to study, work, and pray together. They pledged to propagate a faith that melded spirituality with deep inquiry, fostering that dynamic tension between formation of the mind academically with formation of deep spirituality and trust in God. When they founded the Society of Jesus and its educational mission and method, they did so in a spirit of intellectual and cultural openness that fundamentally shifted Christianity and Western culture. The Jesuits did not promote a blind, unquestioning faith. Their revolutionary approach blended spiritual and educational methods that opened hearts and minds to art and to science, to reason and to rhetoric. Through deep inquiry, observation, debate, and discourse, they looked for God, God in all things, and they did all of this in service to others. Ignatius and the Jesuits created a system of education that integrated study and research, rigor and compassion, contemplation and conversation with active engagement among the people, societies, and cultures around them. In short, the Jesuits moved beyond the secure walls of the monastery to fearlessly engage with the world around them, to advance change, and to lift up those who suffer. Today, that same mission is entrusted to you and embodied in you. Graduates, you are challenged to act, going to the margins of our society in service to the poor and underserved, and expanding the frontiers of knowledge to support that same service. You have embraced your Jesuit education not simply as a way to distinguish yourselves in a career, but as a way to learn, to lead, and serve in your place and time in this world. On its face, this idea of service may seem straightforward and uncomplicated. It is not. I was reminded of this recently in a Western civilization class that I attended, taught by our own Professor Buchholz. Civilization, civilized society is at its core about community, about greetings and sympathy. As members of a community, we must be willing to reach deep within ourselves to engage with each other, not just via a video or text, but face to face, human connection to human connection. It is receiving each other and interacting on a personal level. The smile, the nod, the acknowledgement, the embrace. But along with greeting, we must also show sympathy, or a better description, true empathy. Committing ourselves to seeing each other, appreciating each other, understanding each other, and showing compassion and care. It is only then that we could be of real service, walking alongside and accompanying those in need. Recently, Pope Francis was much more direct, dare I say blunt, in his assessment, calling on each of us to put aside consumerism and self-centered desires to serve others. In a recent homily celebrating Mass for the World Day of the Poor, he stated, let us not waste our lives thinking only of ourselves, indifferent to others, or deluding ourselves into thinking peace and security. Instead, he said, we must look reality in the face and avoid the infection of indifference. The infection of indifference. As we emerge from the relative isolation of the pandemic, we are often struck and even consumed by all the sorrows and losses we have endured over the past few years, even though we cannot undo that past. We also can become anxious and even overwhelmed when we focus on the future and all that we need to do to address the urgent issues in our neighborhoods, communities, and across the world. But again, we cannot dictate the details of tomorrow. Learn from the past, yes. Contemplate the future, of course. However, equally important, what we must also do is be present in the moment. I urge you to regularly pause and engage with the present. Offer greetings and express empathy. Appreciate the beauty that surrounds us, the warmth of the sun, the uplifting sound of laughter, the vibrant colors of new spring growth, the melodies of joyous music, the smile of a child, the poignant stories of an elder. My sincere prayer for each of you is that your Jesuit education affords you protection against the infection of indifference, that you continue to explore, grow, and learn, moving toward a hope-filled future, serving where the need is greatest, that you stay connected to the present, nourishing the good in your lives with love and optimism, sharing greetings and expressing sympathy. In these ways, you will be the difference and make the difference in all that you do. As I close, I would like to offer one final gesture of respect and gratitude to each one of you. Graduates of the School of Communication and the School of Continuing and Professional Studies at Loyola University, Chicago, I tip my hat to you. Congratulations. Well done. Graduates, I will ask that you just please stay seated just for a few more moments. Everyone else, please stand if you are able and extend your hand over our graduates for a final blessing. The blessing is located on the last page of the program, but will also be displayed on the screens. I ask that you please join me. May God bless you and sustain you on this, your graduation day. May the Creator of this vast universe keep you safe as you go forth from this place that has nourished your mind and your soul. May the Almighty look down upon you and give you success in all your endeavors, courage in all your struggles and challenges, understanding in all that is new to you, wisdom to choose what is right and do what is good, perseverance in all you undertake, serenity and peace in the knowledge that you are not alone, that you are loved. May the Lord of all look kindly upon you this day and forever. Amen. And congratulations, graduates.